don't know me, and I have a degree in interior design and sociology. I find that the sociology is where I spend most of my time dealing with clients. It's trying to figure out who they are to create the home or the office environment that fits them. And the interior design part, you know, training, went to school, learned about fabrics, learned about lighting, learned about all those things. But the sociology part is what I spend most of my time dealing with people. People often wonder, you know, what's the difference between an interior designer and an interior decorator? There's a big difference. Most decorators didn't go to school because there's not a degree in decoration. There is a degree in interior design. Interior design is where you learn how to space plan, where you learn how to put colors with things. It's not something that you can just go do a little fluff. It's where you really figure out how the people live in their spaces and create those spaces, whether or not it's a home or an office. I like to work with trying to create a person's dream and turning it into their reality. I have a client that last summer we did a master bath remodel. She went on House, which is a web-based page that you can go to, and you can pull a picture off that and send it to me because I have a House account, and give me your ideas. She went to House, pulled off this master bath. Oh, and she said to me, she goes, I love my bathroom, but it's not quite like the picture. And I said, let's talk about that picture in a little bit more detail. I said, that bathroom's twice the size of your bathroom. I created every element you wanted in that space, in your space, but not as grand. She goes, I never thought of it that way. I thought you could just put that picture in my house. I can't do that. I can only do what your space allows. And unless you give me a budget to top out that space and make the space bigger. So one of my favorite things to do is creating space for people. And probably my least favorite is the decorative. But I do both. I do remodeling, floor coverings, window coverings, upholstery, space planning, tile design, furnishings, paint colors, lighting, and a few new construction projects. There's not very many of those in Boulder. Most of them are remodel. This is a client's house that I think I've mentioned to you, that they said, you made our house bigger. I said, their kitchen's bigger. I didn't make that kitchen any bigger. This kitchen, as you can see if I can get this out. Right there, you can see that it's delaminating the cabinet. This is a $900,000 house in North Boulder. And
so what, it's about 2,500 square feet?
Yeah, about that. And it's 16th Street in North Boulder, and there's a house right now, like 3 houses away that's going for $2 million right now. So what I did to this house was I rearranged where this stove is now. Was right. This is that space. That was the refrigerator. And I put a hole in that wall and put a bar. And one of the things I didn't know until after we began the project is whether or not that kitchen needed to have a post for support. You couldn't tell till we put a hole in the wall. And we do have a post. We had to have that post right there. And that post holds up the upper level. And you can see, as we knocked through the wall, how that opened up the space in the kitchen. There's not 1 inch bigger in that kitchen. I took the cabinets to the ceiling. I took out the soffit that was, there's a soffit there, and there's a soffit there, the top. Took that out, took the cabinets all the way to the ceiling, put in a new kitchen window that's an awning that they can leave open all day long and not have to worry about rain, theft, anything. And their window's right there. It's huge. It's a 4-foot by 4-foot window that opened up and let all this light in. Right here, this cabinet here, I replaced it with a cabinet that has a hole behind it and a window behind it so you can see through to the outside. Above the refrigerator.
Better keep your cabinets clean.
Just that
That's
one.
just one thing.
I don't think I'd want my cabinets anyway.
Window washing, sure.
Above the refrigerator, right here, the original cabinet that they had above the refrigerator was 12 inches deep. We now have that cabinet 24 inches deep, so you can really store things in that cabinet. And it's not just this little thing on top of your refrigerator you can't reach, get into. And then they went from a white kitchen. The husband's request, his main request in this remodel was, I want white. I can't see anything. I'm getting older, I can't see. He's about my age, and if you're my age, you know you can't see. So this kitchen was very, very light in the beginning, but it wasn't light enough for him. So now this kitchen has probably 10 different cans in it that come on at different times where you turn them all on dimmers, and everything's LED, including the light in the cabinet. It's an LED light they will never have to replace. A friend of Seth's who works for me built this whole space right here, and I went in one day and the client said, well, first of all, the client, they had no place to put their stuff. They didn't have what I call a dump station at the back door. They didn't use this little area that was the kitchen nook that wasn't even big enough for a table. Mind you, this is a $900,000 house in Boulder. Doesn't have room for a nook table. But this space here, I created a dump station here with still a bench, a space here. This has all kinds of plugs and USB ports for the 2 iPads, the 2 cell phones, the 2 laptops that are the daily use of the couple who live here. One day I was there and we were playing with trying to create a cabinet decorative thing above for them to put stuff. This is where the wife has her husband's honey-do list. This is where the husband wants his glasses. This is where she wants her hats and her cookbooks. This is their recycle. She wanted, because they were just putting it in that basket, so we put it underneath the bench there, continued that. And over here are things like your kitchen drunk drawer. Here's your gloves for winter. And down here on the bottom, she says, I'm not really sure what I'm going to put in that. It's still empty. So that's good, because we didn't fill it up already. And this is showing you how that cabinet looks in the daylight through the outside. And it just added a fun new dimensions. They said, we've had parties in this house ever since you finished. We only finished 4 weeks ago. And actually, we're still dealing with a few things right now. And that cabinet, you can see it from their front door. And she said, everybody that comes in here just gravitates, wants to know what we did. And it's a real neat book. I picked the paint colors. Oops, sorry about that. I'm not good at this stuff. The paint colors of the room are a light purple, and we pulled it out of the granite that has amethyst in it. The backsplash, she didn't want anything that was too busy, but it has a 3-dimensional feel to the glass, and it's neutral tones that blend with the granite. And I sat there last night going, I should have invited the clients. They would have loved to have been here to talk about their experience. And so this house, we started this, and it took us from beginning to end with cabinet issues. The cabinet company was not capable of providing cabinets that didn't have some issues. As the world has picked up, every single one of my vendors, it seems like, are not geared up for the amount of drive that's going on with building and construction right now. And so we got the cabinets. They had to have the door fronts changed on quite a few. But from beginning to end, 2 months. That's not too bad. This house is in the senior co-housing up in North Boulder. And this woman, she's in her mid-70s. She's the second owner of this property. She calls me and says, you know, I heard you had worked with some of the people in here, and I need some help. My house is really ugly, and I need to make it feel like me. So I did all that. And that was a, little decorative kind of a thing, changing some light fixtures, paint colors, window coverings. And then she said, my big challenge is my bathroom. My bathroom has a tub in it, and she has this fabulous golden lap. And here's this woman, she's real reserved, mid-70s. Didn't know she had a sense of humor. She goes, my dog Mo, get it? Mo Lester. My last name's Lester. His name is Mo Lester. So she has a Mo Lester dog. It was pretty funny. I didn't laugh so hard because she didn't, coming out of a lady that just didn't look like the part, And but she was quite funny after I got to know her more. And so what we did is we took this tile out below that band, got a sawzall and cut the tub up, took that out, built a shower pan, a seat, and put in tile. This was done 10 years ago. I couldn't find that same tile. You cannot tell that that is not original. She now can bathe, molest her in the shower, and we gave her a handheld shower instead of one that was stationary, because she would sit there and get cups of water and pour it over it to get the water soap off of him when she bathed him. And so now, Penny and Molester have a nice shower. This is a little project. I did a full house remodel for this gentleman, and this is his second home up in Allen's Farm. And he said, okay, I need to redo the house and make it, it's a rental. So anybody that wants to rent, they're welcome to go up there. It's a cute little cabin in the woods. And so Brandon, who Seth knows and grew up with, they went up there and spent about 2 weeks redoing this for me. And we redid, these pictures aren't that great, they're probably too light here. But we redid the decorative part and cleaned it up and made it a little bit more appealing.
So is yours the one on the left?
Huh?
I assume you're on the left.
Yeah, oh, sorry. That's the redo.
That's the redo.
And this is, these, it's really funny. These two pieces, these two sofas, the nephew bought them and put them in there, and somebody caught one of the sofa cushions on fire. It was all melted. It was pretty funny, but we resolved that. And then he said, I won't even take a shower in those bathrooms. There was a shower downstairs and a bathtub upstairs, because it's one of those full tub, full sites on a well, and the bottom of that bathtub is gross. You know, the well water had been in there for years. So he said, redo my bathroom, so I want to go in it. And so this, we put in new tile, we put in rocks, it's in the Rocky Mountains. We put in a new cabinet, new countertop, and undermount sink. I was able to salvage the tile, and then we put a new shower curtain on, and then new paint. This is, that's Jack. He's actually been here to this group a couple of times, going down the stairs, and then we had a color. The place was born. It was just kind of blah. And so here, the stove came facing straight out. I turned the stove to face the seating area. I built this little thing. I didn't build it, but I decided a little thing here to hide all the mechanisms for the propane coming into the little stove. We put a little TV in there and just made it more lively and fun as you came in. This is the downstairs bathroom. New lighting, new paint, new countertop, new cabinet, and it also has a new shower surround. It was pretty tight in there. Picture. This is the master bedroom. This wall right here was the bed wall, and the bed was up against a window that looked out. So that window, now you get to look out, and I flipped the bed and put paint colors on it. And this is just the other rooms in that little cabin in the woods. And this is an old, right here, at this point, this is one of those old, ugly TV armoires that I went in and the client was, what do we do with this? It was really expensive, nice furniture. I said, cut it in half and put legs on it. And that's what they did. I went back to their house, and this is a client I've been working with for, well, since '97. And they said, look what we did. We took your idea, stained some legs, put them on the bottom of that armoire, and made a cabinet. So
it was twice that size?
It was twice that size. That is about this tall now, and it used to be like almost 8 feet tall. And that's the top part that the TV sat in, and the components, and below it was another cabinet for like VCR, some other stuff, or if you wanted videotapes or whatever. So, save it on more ways to do something a little bit more interesting instead of throwing it away or putting it in the landfill. And as you guys know, I'm definitely into keeping things out of the landfill as much as we can. So, save it on more.